My proposal for the final paper for my senior seminar class on war stories at EIU is a comparison between the experience my ancestor and his regiment experienced during the Civil War compared to with the required reading material for this class on the same subject. My great-great-great-great-grandfather, James Rennie, enlisted in an all-Irish regiment, the 35th Indiana, during the Civil War. I do have a picture of him, if you can kind of zoom in a little bit. And I also have a picture of, this is actually the regimental flag that they actually flew under, and it was actually their flag that was the first to be put on top of Lookout Mountain down by Chattanooga, Tennessee during that battle. I have found a number of resources regarding not only Irish regiments during the Civil War, but also about specific battles that this particular regiment was even in. They were, and there are all kinds of various sources on this through books, and there's several different websites on this subject in regards to the officers and soldiers alike. In this class we have analyzed the required reading material for each week, and we have done two in regards to that of the Civil War, about the experiences of soldiers and officers from the poems of Walt Whitman and the fictional Civil War classic, The Red Badge of Courage. In this paper, I would like to compare my ancestors' experience is in like maybe 2 or 3 battles that he was in, and portray that to the battles portrayed in, say, The Red Badge of Courage, and maybe that of some of the poems by Walt Whitman. I'm not sure if I should compare the officers of this regiment to the officers portrayed in the novel or even in poetry. I have found substantial amount of sources on this regiment and the battles that they were in. The battles would be, there's 3 particular battles I'd like to maybe feature on, and that would be the battles at Stones River, the Battle of Chickamauga, and the storming of Lookout Mountain. All of these battles were in the state of Tennessee in the year 1863. I know that there are more sources on this topic than what I have already looked up. I might run into somewhat of a problem of choosing which sources to use or how many to use. There are multiple books and websites about these battles, especially. I have learned and greatly respect my ancestor, who lived long before my time, who was born in Ireland and left his country as a child during the potato famine, and as a young man decided to fight for his new country without any education or even knowing the language. After the war, he became a successful farmer, married, and had children, and he lived to the ripe age of 85. And I wanted to share his amazing story. though he would maybe consider himself as a ordinary guy for his time period, yet when I look back at it, I consider it quite extraordinary. And if it hadn't been for the things that he had done and the sacrifices he did, maybe I would not be here either. So I do admire and respect him for his courage and his bravery of doing what he felt was right. And I hope that you accept this proposal.